All right, so for the second card, again, we're doing kind of a painting, kind of a colorful painting card. I'm really excited about this one. I loved coming up with this idea. Okay, so what you have here is you have your gray base, and then you have all of these little pieces here. Okay, you have your colorful pieces there. This is Have a Colorful Day, the little sentiment, so cute. And then you have your little kitty, and then the metallic piece, and the little gray, and the black. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make paintbrush handles. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your brown paper, you're going to fold it in half and fold it in half again. The idea is we're going to be making some small little paintbrush handles, and so I wanted them all to be consistent. And so in order to do that, you're going to need to fold your paper into 4 even pieces. I will tell you that I make these craft kits as they come in and as they're ordered, and so your brown piece might be a little bit bigger, so you're going to want to make sure that you end up with a piece that's about this big when it's folded in, which means that your strip is going to be about this big, and so you're going to fold it so it's about this big. Okay, so you're going to put 4 creases in it. All right, so that's the idea. So as you fold it in on itself, what you're going to do is take your scissors, you're going to cut up part way and then cut over from the side. Okay, so cutting out this kind of little piece on the side here. You might want to finish watching me before you finish cutting so that you make sure to not mess up. Okay, basically cutting a T, just the letter T. Okay, because that's going to be the paintbrush handles, right? Okay, so throw those little excess pieces of paper to the side. You won't need those. All right, so now this little paintbrush handles what we end up with, and I can kind of you can round the little edges if you would like. I'm going to. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to make sure is that you got that needed to be even on both sides there. All right, now you can go ahead and cut your T's apart so that you end up with 4 that are the same size. Okay. All right, so this is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are going to be little paintbrushes. Oh, and it looks like I'm going to have to just adjust those just a little bit to make sure that all the little arms of the T's are the same distance from the middle there. I had this plan. I was like, this is going to work out great. They're all going to be even, but they weren't. I had hopes. Okay, so now we're going to make little paintbrushes. So that's what this is. Paintbrushes. It's going to be the little bristles for the paintbrush. You're going to want to make sure that your paintbrush handle itself is going to be about the same width as the black. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust that down to size in a moment, but first I'm going to go ahead and cut these. So you're going to need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I have to remove a color or make another handle. Make another handle. Except that I instructed you guys to make 4 of them. I'm so upset. What color will I have to get rid of? That's not good. Ah, I have an idea. That's okay. I've decided what I'm going to do. I've decided. We're going to continue with my plan. All right, here we go. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to glue the bristles to the edges of the paintbrush there. All right. And then we're going to trim the paintbrushes, the sides, or you can fold them in. That actually might be kind of a fun idea. Let's try that. That would be kind of cute. Or maybe your black matches up perfectly with your brown. In which case, that's totally fine too. All right, so now what I'm going to do is you want to make sure that your top here is nice and straight. And we're going to want to make sure that they're even with all the others. So we're going to go ahead and line up all the handles. You might want to wait till your glue is dry. I'm just going to go with it here and then pull them apart. So all our handles are roughly the same in height. So now once I've matched those together, I can go ahead and just trim all of my bristles down. So they're all about the same. Okay. All right, so we're looking at that. I've got a little gluey. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut bristles. So we're going to go ahead and just trim them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, if they're not perfect, it's totally fine. Or if you just kind of cut them kind of randomly, and hopefully they'll be somewhat close. You don't want them to be so close together that you're actually losing paper. We don't want that. And we're not cutting all the way down to the brown. We're just cutting like the bristles of a paintbrush. Okay. All right, so it looks like this. So your little paintbrush, so cute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and since I have a little bit of excess on either side, I'm going to go ahead and just fold that under. So I think that would look kind of nice and kind of give it just a tiny little bit of dimension when I go ahead and glue it down. So fold it under and wrap it around the black there. So cute. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and glue down our paper. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're going to cut out our cap. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut this out. You're going to cut around the little legs. If you wanted to like watercolor him more or something, you should probably do that before you cut it out. But I think he's fine as is. Right here under the tail, I'm going to cut about so that there's about 1/8 of an inch underneath that tail. If you don't know what 1/8 of an inch is, just basically just a little piece so that there's something to glue it down to. When you get to that line there next to the face, you're just going to go ahead and cut up to the face. I usually just cut off the whiskers that are around the face. Don't try and bother cutting them out because it can oftentimes be annoying. You can always redraw whiskers in with a pen if you're really missing them. Okay, so this is what we ended up with, a little guy. All right, and now our little can here. At the bottom here, we're just going to round it just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. I want mine to be more perfect than that though. And then on the front, on the top here, we're going to actually do the opposite. We're going to kind of concave it, the kind of opposite. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want mine to be more perfect than that. Okay, so there we have that. And now we're going to add in a little piece of light gray there. I'm just going to line it up and trim that off and glue that in place. So it's straight along the back side there, but it kind of looks like maybe they're paint in a can. Okay. All right, and now I'm in that little tab right there, that little piece, that's actually going to go ahead. Actually, we're going to trim off the tail from the arm here. And that little tab, we're going to put a little tiny bit of glue on the little tab and tuck it between the two pieces of gray there for the little tail. And then the cat face itself and arms, put some glue on, and that's just going to kind of tuck over the edge like he's sitting over the edge of the paint can. And we're going to go ahead, well, we're not going to stick it on quite yet. We're going to let the glue dry. Sorry, I was kind of messy with my glue, so I got to figure that out real fast. Okay, there we go. Woo! All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and go down some paint. However, I have decided, since I forgot one color or one paintbrush, what I'm going to do is kind of give you're going to decide which ones you want to do up here from the little paintbrush strokes like this, and which ones that you would like to do for down at the bottom, like paint spilled, because I think that's kind of funny. Okay, so I always like to follow my kind of rainbow, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So let's try this. So we'll do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then we'll do purple at the bottom. So cute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and glue on my paint stripes and my little kitty. So put some glue on the back side of your little bucket, and that's going to kind of stick right there. I'm going to go ahead, before the glue totally dries, put some glue in the back side of my purple and tuck it underneath the kitty there, so it's going to go all the way to the edge. I think I'm actually going to make it so that it goes just up above, just a little bit. And then here, you can decide if you want them to kind of go diagonal, or you can decide if you want them to go upright and go up and down. It depends on how much space you have available. Okay, so we're going to think about our paintbrushes right here. And I'm going to kind of sway them out a little bit. All right. So we do red, yellow, green, and blue. So I can get one behind my cat there. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I'm so happy. All right, so once I've decided once you've decided where you're going to put your paintbrushes or your stripes, you're going to go ahead and lay down your color. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my paintbrushes on top. I'm going to put some glue on that little folded part there and on the black, but not onto the bristles so that the bristles can stand up. I'm going to line up the edge of my paintbrush there with the color there, so it looks like there's, you know, the paintbrush is actually painting it on, even though I know there's no color on the edge of the little bristles there. I'm just going to leave it because I kind of like that. And then we're going to go ahead and glue on the yellow. And do the same thing. And I'm kind of staircasing in a little bit as I go. I'm not putting glue all the way up to the top because I know it's going to go off the edge, and I'm making sure that my little staircase between each color is about the same, and I'm also making sure my space right here is even and equal. All right, and I'm going to put that on. And since I went right behind my little kitty there, whoops. Put some glue on and just tuck that under there, but over the purple. And lay that on, and then I'm going to do my final paintbrush right here. Yes, so happy. All right, and you can go in and kind of splay out your little bristles if you would like a little bit. I like to kind of splay them down kind of like this and kind of move them. It kind of depends on how thin you kind of cut your paper. I kind of like the idea of them kind of pushed maybe to the side a little bit, like you've been dunked in some paint. You've kind of swooped it on, you know? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and tuck it over to the other side, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim this off. Now, if you happen to have any of these colors of colored pencils or markers, anything that is that color, even paint you can use with a tiny little skewer or a tiny little pinpoint of some kind and put little dots in. It's just a fun way to kind of add more color. You can also add a little, if you have a hole punch, you can hole punch some color, some little dots from that paper that you have left over. But I just think it would be kind of fun just to add in what I'm going to refer to as kind of a paint splatter, which is just kind of a little bit of some dot groupings, which is a big dot and a couple little dots. And I'm going to do that on some of these colors up here too. A big dot and a couple little dots. Again, if you have colored pencils, you can do that with that, or if you have a little bit of paint. Or again, you can just, you could even cut out little tiny pieces from and make little droplets again, little teardrops, and drip those down, which would also be super cute underneath the paint. But something else that you want to add in that might be kind of fun. And I really like adding the color tone on tone onto the colors. And so if you can find a color that's a little bit darker than the color that you have, then it's a really great way. For the yellow, if you need another color that's a little bit darker, you can always go with an orange. I happen to have a yellow that's just a little bit darker, so I can see it on my end, even if you can't see it on your end. Okay, and the purple was the last one. Again, big dot and a couple little dots, and you can do single dots kind of here and there just to kind of give it a little bit more interest. All right, I'm going to add a couple more colors in here. I think I'm going to call it good. Okay, and I think because I was talking about the paint drops earlier, I just love that idea. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'm just going to cut the little teardrop shape. I'm just going to do one though, and it's going to be the green one. Cute. Oh my gosh, so much fun. It's going to land right on the kitty's head. Excellent. Well, right on his tail. Excellent. All right, and now to add in your sentiment, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put that right here across the top, or of course, oh my gosh, why don't we do it down here at the bottom? Oh, that's perfect. That makes way more sense for that little piece to be there. All right, I'm going to just tuck underneath there. And I'm just now realizing that I'm going to need to trim off this excess purple right here. But this is perfect. Oh my gosh. I love how that turned out. So cute. I never know how it's going to turn out, you guys. So it's always a fun surprise for me, too. Yay! Oh my gosh, and the little kitty in the bucket of paint. I have to go show Taylor. This is so thrilling. And I always show it to him, all my little creations. It just makes me so happy. All right, so they're have a colorful day painting cards is what I've decided. Oh, I love them. All right, you guys, have a fun rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.